these medicine wives, like they call, like Funky Dineva calling these medicine wives. I mean, we just can't get on the same page. But before we get into that, I don't have a clip. I need to get my technology game up. But child, that reunion trailer, I'm gonna see if I can find it so we can talk about it. But the reunion trailer is out. It's explosive. It starts out explosive. Contessa comes to Heavenly's trailer and tries to get it popping before they even hit that stage. Child, she had Heavenly scared. Scared. Simone had to be her bodyguard. Heavenly, you might need security. If you go do all that talking, you might need some security too. Where was Daddy? Child, whew, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. And they got it popping again on the BravoCon stage. These medicine wives are off the chain. Off the chain, I tell you. But let's go ahead and get into the reality recap of it all. Um, hmm. So they're still at Blue Ridge. We are still at Blue Ridge. Dr. Jackie brings in some type of erotic sex goddess type instructor. And so she is talking to the couples about, putting, I guess being, free with their sexuality. So she asked the couples, how many times have the women asked their husband what do they like sexually? Dr. Simone said, I don't. She said, I don't. She was like, and Cecil was like, look, I just want frequency. You ain't even got to ask what I like. I just want the frequency of it all. I just want some. So so the goddess says, she has 3 boyfriends and a husband. I would be tired. This lady has a high, drive. She definitely has a high drive because I mean to take care of 3 men and a husband, woo, child, I would be tired. My back would be hurting and everything. I would not have it in me, but she said she handles it and handles it well, honey. So Heavenly says, they don't invite others into their bedroom. I'm with you, Heavenly. I don't invite nobody else into my bedroom either. It's just me and my husband. Whoever he will be, it's just gonna be me and him. Not nobody else. I don't have time for no stalkers. I have watched Twa. And what else? I've watched Fatal Attraction. I don't have time for none of that. So Contessa asked, Scott in the confessional, would you want an orgy? He said, nah, me. She said, me neither. I beg to differ. Contessa, yes, you do. You want you a nice little, threesome. You wouldn't mind. Contessa is a Contessa looks like she is free. I won't call her the other word, but I would say she seems like she is very free and she likes to have fun. I mean, heck, she had 2 women on her last episode massaging them feet. So yes, Contessa, I will believe that you would be down for a threesome. Dr. Eugene said, they talk about rings that you would put around your man parts. And so Dr. Eugene says, has a story about a man who had a ring around his man parts and said that it got stuck because he had the balls part they were included with the ring, and it started swelling up and they didn't have anything for the man to be able to get it off for him at his location. They couldn't find nobody in the greater Atlanta area, so they had to go all the way to Mississippi to find someone to get this thing off this man's junk. Dr. Eugene, he was like, he never seen it swell up that bad before. So hopefully this man, this patient of Dr. Eugene's will not do this again. But I don't know. I watch Grey's Anatomy, and those people, you got some people who just have fetishes and they would just continue to do stuff that is just not in their best interest. So moving on, Dr. Simone and Cecil, they do a demonstration with a pillow. And let me tell you, I had to look away. I just don't want to see Cecil and Dr. Simone. in that type of state. Dr. Heavenly was taking pictures. She said she was gonna put it on her YouTube channel. I just like, ugh, like I just didn't want to see it. I'd rather have sauce, maybe Scott and Contessa, maybe Audra and Michael if Martin. If I had to see anybody, but I just did not want to see Simone and Cecil, and I definitely didn't want to see Dr. Jackie and Curtis. So they both did demonstrations with these pillows, and Dr. Jackie, she ain't gonna give too much. She just sat side saddle on top of Curtis. She just sat on the side. She wasn't gonna do too much. She definitely didn't get all in there like Simone and Cecil. But I didn't want to see neither one of it. I just did not. So the men go outside in the freezing cold to smoke cigars and to talk about, what just happened with this sex goddess and living a polyamorous lifestyle. Eugene says, I'm just not down with no polyamorous. And I don't blame you, Eugene. I just don't see it for me. That's not for me in my life. I get it. For some people, they just have all this love they want to share. But as for me, I don't have that. I don't have that much love I want to share. I just want to share it with that one person, my husband. So Heavenly asked the ladies if they feel comfortable having other people in their marriages. Most of the ladies said they're not with it. But Toya comes up with the suggestion. She said, I don't want to be judged, but what if the lady, they had kids and they didn't want to divorce and cause, interruption in the kids' life. So they just agreed to, be able to step outside of their marriage. Quad says Toya clearly wants to screw someone else and feels maybe she's already opened up that part of her relationship. Now, Quad, don't put stuff out there you don't know about. You don't like, when people say you're with a married man, don't put that out there on Toya and Eugene. That's not right. But I enjoyed the shade. Simone says, in your marriage you will be unhappy, but as long as you have God first, you can always, get through those unhappy times and know that, you will come out on the other end. I guess that's going to be in Simone's book that we still don't know anything else about. But that's a great line, Simone. Put that in your book, girl. Yes, put that in your book. So Dr. Jackie, says, well, to piggyback off what Simone is saying about unhappy times, let's talk about, Contessa and Heavenly. Let's talk about y'all's relationship and y'all's friendship and getting y'all back on the same page. Why, Dr. Jackie? Why do we keep rehashing this thing? They are in a cordial space. Let them just be in a cordial space. Why do we have to rehash this? So, Contessa says she really doesn't want to be contentious. Her and Heavenly's relationship just is what it is. Heavenly agrees it is what it is, and says, relationships sometimes change. But Heavenly always goes a step further. She tells Contessa, you are wonderful. You are so beautiful. And wishes she just knew how wonderful and beautiful she was. And she shouldn't have to take things just because, of a man. And so I'm like, oh my God, we were going in a good direction, Dr. Heavenly. Why did you have to say it? But I guess Dr. Heavenly, like, I'm going to keep driving my point home because y'all are not going to sit up here and make it seem like I am wrong for what I feel. We get it, Dr. Heavenly. Just stop talking about this lady's relationship. So Contessa says, she is very adamant. Contessa says that Scott is the father of her kids. This is exactly what she says. And who she chooses to be married to is her choice. And they should keep their opinions of her husband to the goddamn MF itself. So what I feel like, it's interesting because the first thing that Contessa says about Scott, that's just the father of her child, her children. And usually, when you're in love with someone, that would be the first thing that comes out, not just the father of your children. It's like, to me it seems like, okay, after the children are gone, are y'all gonna leave each other? Are y'all just together for the kids? Because that's the first thing that came out your mouth. That's the father of my child, my children. And it's my choice of who I want to be married to. Yes, it is, Contessa, but I want to let you know, I'm gonna have to say, call a thing a thing. If you are not happy, unless you and Scott have an agreement, but if you're not happy, sweetie, the kids can feel that when you're not happy. I was in that type of situation when I was growing up. The kids know when you ain't happy. So you being unhappy is gonna cause them to be unhappy, and you're gonna have a household where you're not gonna have kids that can truly thrive. They're always gonna be on pins and needles, mommy and daddy arguing again, or mommy don't kiss daddy, daddy don't kiss mommy. There's no affection. It will rub your kids. It would put it will cause your kids to go in a different direction. Even though you're trying to do what's best, it's not really what's best for them mentally, in my opinion. So Toya doesn't know why we're talking about this again. I'm with you, Toya. Heavenly says, if you're going to badmouth your husband in public and know you are going to stay with them, just don't do it. Now, my grandma always told me, don't talk about what goes on between you and your husband with family. Don't even talk about it with your friends, because if y'all decide to make up, sometimes it can cause an issue, because now I'm in my feelings about your husband, and I don't want, and now I got to sit up here and feel some type of way about your husband, but you have gone on and y'all skipping in the sunset, but I'm still over here mad. So I get it. I totally get it. She's saying Dr. Heavenly is her delivery. However, she is saying what's right. Don't be putting your husband out here on Front Street, because all last season, Dr. Contessa, you talked about how unhappy you were with Scott, and he doing this, he doing that. He could be cheating. He couldn't be. He may be cheating. I don't really know. You said all of this stuff about Scott. Y'all having arguments in the hotel room. Carrie hearing y'all arguing and having fussing and fighting. This is all on camera. Now you have invited people into your marriage, and now people are like, they have their opinions. So now you're good with Scott and y'all have moved on, but people are still trying to figure out, like, how did you move on? I don't know. Or they have their issues with how he was disrespectful towards you, how he could possibly been with some life coach or whatever. Just, it makes people uneasy. So before you go blabbing about all of that, just know, to be careful with who you share this information. You might just want to go to God. Just go to God and let him know all about your troubles. Don't go to these people and put it on national TV for millions of people to weigh in on. So moving on. Contessa says this is why we don't F with each other anymore. Just because Heavenly said that. And Heavenly says it's because you talk too dang much. And Contessa says, this, if this isn't a safe space, then she definitely won't do it again. Girl, don't do it again. Don't do it again. The thing is, I feel like, Dr. Heavenly feels emboldened to talk about it publicly because you brought it out publicly. But whatever y'all was talking about behind the scenes, Dr. Heavenly never talked about. So whatever y'all were going through behind the scenes, she didn't bring it up. But once you put it out in public, she felt emboldened to talk about it. So and you put that out there for other people to talk about it. I'm doing commentary and I'm talking about it. So now you can't get mad at what you put out there. Just know that we're moving forward. We are moving forward. We have worked through our issues. Now, should Dr. Heavenly just drop it? Just drop it at this point. So Contessa says she isn't mad at Scott anymore, and she can't be around someone who always, criticizes. And Dr. Heavenly is just always being critical of her. Heavenly says she is wonderful and beautiful, and she doesn't have to take disrespect. Heavenly, I swear you is stabbing her. She is getting pissed. That Dr. Contessa has to get up and leave. She's so mad because she Dr. Contessa she goes into a rage and she would go over there and get Heavenly if she had to. I mean, look, she done came to the lady dressing room before the reunion. So Heavenly says, she meant every word and have been nothing but a friend to Contessa. So after she goes through that, because everybody's trying to tell Heavenly she's wrong and she's wrong and she's wrong. Heavenly gets upset and she leaves. As she's leaving out, Toya and Heavenly start getting into it. Toya tells Heavenly she can see right through her and her ugly wig. Toya, I swear, Toya is funny to me. So Jackie follows Heavenly to her room to get her to calm down and tells her not to respond to the mess. So here come Audrey and Anila. They come trotting into Heavenly's room. Heavenly says Contessa just isn't happy with her life. Dr. Heavenly, you may be right, but just drop it. Ain't no need to be putting your blood pressure up and getting all upset about when if Contessa is gonna be unhappy, let her be unhappy. But until then, y'all are not friends, so it don't even matter no more. So Toya tells Quad, look, I talked to Anila and about what happened at the party. So, Quad says, you look, I didn't originate the rumor, but I did repeat it. Yes, I did. I repeated it. I mean, what else can you say? So Quad, says everyone is scared to say who started the rumor. She says Anila does not want to say Anila. Anila does not want to say Anila. Anila, just say if you're scared, say you're scared. Because I mean, you trying to throw Quad on the bus or anybody else, a Zayna under the bus, it's you, Anila. You started the whole rumor. You brought it to the group. So now what? Now you just need to stand 10 toes down and just tell Toya what happened. You clearly don't care enough for Toya. So just go ahead and say what happened and keep it moving. Toya asks if she's just deflecting because, she knows she screwed the carpenter. Shots fired, shots fired. So Quad says it's no difference, what she did is no different than someone telling her she slept with the contract. And I feel like the way they chopped it up or edited it was kind of chopped because it's like she said her, Toya said something about her screwing the carpenter, and then she goes back and says, this is no different than the rumors being out about her sleeping with the contractor. So they were saying the same thing. So I don't know if that was really back to back. I feel like it was chopped and screwed. So Simone says she did hear about it from a reliable source, and Quad was like, it was not reliable. It was not reliable. So Simone is in her confessional saying, it's a mystery as to how Quad is able to afford a $2 million and renovate a $2 million mansion by herself. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Why does it matter how Quad is getting it? Why does it matter how Quad is getting it? Maybe Quad has made some investment. Maybe she invested in Bitcoin. Maybe she sold some stock. You never know what Quad got going on. So why does it even matter how Quad is, able to maintain her mansion? Just congratulate. Don't hate, congratulate. So Simone definitely feels like something has gone down between Quad and his contractor. Toya says, Quad has been a liar since she met her, and she is the one girl she is not going to cry for. The hate runs deep between Quad and Toya. The hate really runs deep with them. It's like, dang. Like, it's really like that. So, Toya says Quad has been a liar since she met her. I said that. Quad gets up, and as soon as she says that, Quad gets up and Contessa jumps up to hold her back. Because I don't know what, I think Quad went back to Memphis and was about to wear Toya out. So Contessa gets up, saves her soror, and keeps that from happening. Quad and Contessa, they are both Delta Sigma Theta. So am I. So Toya says she has been letting Quad slide for 9 years, and she is a jealous bitch. I mean, I'm telling you, the vitriol that these two ladies have against each other is like it goes. I did not realize how deep it was into this season. How much Toya and Quad do not get along. So Quad says, at this point she's in Heavenly's room and she's going off about Toya because she is so mad. She says she is the Frank Sinatra of the group. She did it her way. Quiet. How long you been rehearsing that? You have been waiting on to say that, ain't it? So she said she did it her way. And Toya and Toya just mad because she got a man and she can't keep a house. Boom. Boom. Why are you so interested in what Quad got going on in her house? Worry about what's going on in your house and with why you can't keep your house, Toya. It doesn't. I don't understand what Quad does makes you so upset. Even if she was sleeping with the carpenter or the contractor, whoever she was sleeping with, if she was, that's her business. She ain't married. That's her business. So why is it that serious to know if Quad slept or did not sleep with someone? Oh, because he's married. That makes a difference. And so that's warranted. Okay, but still, Quad is single. It does not matter. So the Quad is going off. 17 minutes later, Quad is still going. And it felt like, that little meme, I wish I had it, where it says 32 minutes later. So she's going off 17 minutes. They still sitting in there listening to Quad. And then 32 minutes later, they still listen to Quad. We get to an hour, a whole hour later, Quad still going off. And by the time when she get to the point where has run out of gas, she was like, I'm going to bed. So everybody decides to go to bed. Everybody just go to your rooms and be quiet. So everyone gets, ready for church service the next day. Damon tells Heavenly, there is a way to forgive and, make a choice to not say something. That you don't always have to say something, Heavenly. So Jackie and Simone, they sitting in Simone's bed. Jackie, talk about what happened. And Jackie said she told Heavenly to focus on listening and just nod her head. She don't have to say nothing. So Jackie then says, I couldn't get into the conversation. I couldn't double dutch my way in. But, I don't know. I don't know if Contessa remembers she shared a lot of stuff with Heavenly that she may be forgetting. Now, see, this one I gotta call you out, Dr. Jackie. Because Dr. Heavenly been saying this the whole time. Since the first episode, she has been saying this, and nobody has come to have her back or say whatever that Contessa did. So if you know that Contessa has shared a lot of stuff, why haven't you said anything or came to Heavenly's defense this whole time? Now, if you have, it definitely wasn't shown. But Dr. Jackie, you have not said anything about Contessa. Yeah, you are. You did share a lot. No one has checked Contessa. Everyone has stayed silent, and Dr. Heavenly has been out here fighting on her own. Dr. Jackie, I just don't like that. Go ahead and say what you got to say. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Don't sit up here and keep saying, Heavenly, don't do that. Heavenly, don't do that when you know Contessa could be wrong. She did share a lot of stuff. She shared it. We all saw it. We all saw it. And I've actually watched Dr. Heavenly's YouTube. She really tried her best to not say nothing about Contessa and Scott's relationship. She would make it a point not to say anything. That one time when she said, not physical, but emotional, she just said that. And this has caused a whole season of fighting just for that little one thing. Now, the person who may need to be mad is maybe Toya, because she be going in on Toya. But Contessa, not as much. And Dr. Jackie, if you felt the same way as Heavenly, you should have stuck in there and said something. Like, I don't like people who just sit back and be silent. And that's supposed to be, they're supposed to be like really good friends. Like, why sit back and just stay silent and not say nothing? If if you know something is wrong, I don't like that. That irked me when she said that. Um, so they flash back to Contessa incorporating, heavily into her business. Heavily has been there as a friend. They show her the photos of them hanging out together outside of the show. So this was a real solid friendship. Simone says, as girlfriends, they should be able to confide in each other and not be put on blast for it. So, Jackie says, this is what caused the fallout between her and Simone. She said, she comes to her about Cecil, she's just not going to say nothing. But, you know, Simone says you should be able to go and vent to your friends and not be shamed for what you said. So, I don't know. I see both sides. I do. I see both sides. But, my grandma, who was married for over 50 years to the same man, I would definitely say I would follow her advice. You don't go telling people your business. Don't just try not to. It'll save a whole lot of hurt. So Contessa tells Scott that she doesn't have to have a desire to go back to a day-to-day relationship with Heavenly. She says she just doesn't have no desire to go back into a relationship with her, and she apologizes for bringing Heavenly into their lives. Dramatic. She being dramatic. It's not that serious. Y'all really could have worked this thing out. It did not even have to take all this. This could have been worked out prior to the season if you felt some type of way, because it just does not make sense at this point. You are putting 20 on 10 Contessa. So Eugene has to go to work, so he heads back to the ER. So the pastor and his members, they come in to have the Sunday service with the ladies. So Quad tells Neela and Kieran that, because she's heard something doesn't mean she started the rumor. So she didn't put Anila on blast at that point, but she said, just because I heard something don't mean I started the rumor. So they talking about that, and so Karen goes into asking, like, is there a certain etiquette I need to have, for this church? He is clearly not familiar with the black church, so this causes the couples to kind of give him a little bit of tips about how to the things that go on in a black church. They're telling you wave your hands, praise, put up your little finger if you're trying to go to the bathroom. So that was a really funny little thing. So the pastor preaches about having real friends. Heavenly says she let Contessa into her heart, and it's going to take her a long time to get over it. Dr. Heavenly is hurt, y'all. Dr. Heavenly, she don't like to show emotions. She don't like to be vulnerable, but she is definitely hurt by what Contessa did to her this season. Toya feels Heavenly and Quad are just not good friends to her. And she ain't, that's just basically is what it is. She's not trying, it doesn't seem like she's trying to build anything with these women again. So after the church service, they end up eating brunch. And it's a little buffet style. Eugene didn't have to cook when he was gone anyway. So Audra tells the group that, she feels the trip has been an amazing growth for her, not just that type of growth, but also she has growth in her belly. So she tells everybody she's pregnant. She's so excited. Dr. Heavenly says, I'm the godmother. And so Curtis asks Jackie, is she going to have Simone or you for the doctor? She was like, Dr. Jackie, who else would she have? Exactly. If I had to choose between Dr. Jackie and Simone, it would definitely be Dr. Jackie. So Heavenly, it says that she has learned, in the end, she needs to be more mindful of what she says about people, and then understand that some people may be a little bit more sensitive than she is, and she needs to take that into consideration. So basically, everybody is leaving Blue Ridge, and it is the end of the episode. So we have made it to the end. They have left Blue Ridge. We are now in the finale. We are going into the reunion. And like I said, the reunion was explosive. If I can get some clips, I will come back and do a reaction to the trailer and do that a little bit later. But until then, like I said, if you made it this far, I hope you have subscribed. You might as well go ahead and subscribe. Don't lurk. Just go ahead and subscribe. If you like the content, go ahead, hit the like button. I really, really appreciate the feedback. Also, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified about all of my uploads that I have coming. Soon to come will be Married at First Sight, and we are headed to the end of Married at First Sight. Praise God. Praise God. So until then, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I thank you for supporting my channel, and see you when I see you. Peace.